Welcome to Community News Media. My name is Lori Nussbaum, and today I am here with Mr. Parnes Cartwright from Barry University. He is the athletic instructor for Barry. Did I get that right?
Yes,
Sports instructor.
Yes, I teach sport management for the School of Business, actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
Wonderful. So thank you for being here. And we're excited to hear about the Wheelchair Basketball Association. But before we get started, I'd like to play a quick video.
Basketball has always been one of the few things that I could get inside those four lines and nothing else mattered in the world.
The first time that I got crossed over and scored on by a guy that I perceived to have less ability than me or have it harder in life, my whole world changed.
And I just remember telling myself, don't close the eyes, because if I close my eyes, I'm gonna die.
I never thought before that I was gonna be a wheelchair all my life.
I love to see my son play basketball because the thing he do in that wheelchair is amazing.
The team has become my brothers.
Hey, you the best! We're gonna play like that, and we're gonna go home.
And Nationals, where we're going all the way in.
At any given moment, I'm gonna be without a roof, So it's like, I gotta just not let that affect my training.
I see those guys that they've been playing for years and they've been to college. If they did it, why can't I do it?
Jeremy is a minstrel music.
I got the heart shaking with basketball. That beats music notes.
The only positive thing I do it for basketball. This is my escape. This is what's most likely to get me an education. If I gotta push 20 miles a day, wake up at 7 in the morning to be there by 5 in the afternoon, I'm gonna do it.
I don't think I would have this opportunity if it wasn't for the sport.
I got this scholarship from UTA.
What we do is beyond basketball. It's beyond wheelchair sports. It's life and how we choose to live it.
So, what an amazing video. That was just heart-wrenching, unbelievable. Tell us a little bit about, you're the instructor for the National Wheelchair Basketball Association. What is this? And tell us, what is your affiliation with Barry University?
So the National Wheelchair Basketball Association has been around since 1948. And I joined in 2010 as a coach for a wheelchair basketball team, the Miami Heat Wheels. Which, and that's the team that's in the video, along with a couple of teams from Florida and throughout the nation. My association with Barry University is I'm an instructor for the School of Business, and we teach adapted sports management. So that's the connection. Actually, my students do experiential learning. And part of that is through the National Wheelchair Basketball Association and also through Special Olympics as a unified champion school.
Okay. Interesting. That's so for those of us, what is adaptive sports?
So you think of basketball as the NBA, the WNBA, and adapted means that they've changed it and the rules just slightly so that a person that is, say, deaf can play basketball. So in wheelchair basketball, it's a person that has a lower limb injury that allows them to qualify to be a wheelchair basketball player and part of the Paralympic team.
So do you just coach the wheelchair basketball? Have you worked with any other adaptive sports?
Well, yes, I've, I've coached wheelchair basketball. I'm also working with Barry University as part of being a unified champion school. And unified champion school means that we've partnered with a school that has students with learning disabilities, and we provide sports opportunities for them. So right now, my class is preparing for the unified championships, which we will go out to our partnered school, and we will provide a bunch of different sports, and then put those on social media. I think we're going to. I think we're using. I think we're using Instagram
Oh, wow.
as our
Okay,
post.
okay,
So
okay.
so the students will provide the sports for the other students, take photos, and then post that on Instagram, and along with other schools throughout the nation.
So what's your background? Tell us your background. How did you get involved?
Well, I got involved because I was a basketball coach, and was very involved in basketball when I was in New York City running leagues. And when I moved to Miami, I was playing a little bit, and my wife asked me if I had heard about wheelchair basketball. The interesting thing was I had seen wheelchair basketball maybe a week before that, just walking into the gym at the Miami Springs, wondering who's playing basketball, and
Right.
that's the first time I saw the Miami Heat Wheels practice, and they said that they were looking for a coach. So,
So it was perfect.
so
It
yes,
was a win-win.
That's how it happened. Yes.
You know, interesting, and just from watching this video, now are these former athletes that played basketball before, or
Some are. Some have picked it up, and there are different types of athletes. So some never played basketball.
okay,
Then there are people that played sports and came in, and they did not have a lower limb disability. And then some
Right.
had congenital issues, so they've been in a wheelchair. So they started playing basketball early on, learned the sport,
right.
and then you have athletes that are new to being injured, and they're wondering, well, what now? And wheelchair basketball gives them a direction.
Well, yeah, I mean, so I noticed that you have Division I, Division II, various divisions. So this is a sport that's, there's sponsors, and it's all, I mean, it's a big deal.
Yes, it is. ABC Medical, Toyota, Nike are big sponsors, along with the chair companies such as Performax, Top End, that provide a lot of things to the athletes. So the athletes in Division One are the athletes that you will see in the Paralympics.
I was just going to ask you. So a lot of these athletes go to the Paralympics and play there as well.
Correct. The National Wheelchair Basketball Association is the governing body for wheelchair basketball in the United States. So they are tasked with preparing the Paralympic teams. So they prepare the the U23 teams, which is and then the Paralympic teams for men's and women's.
Got it. Got it. Let me ask you this. Tell us about Project Kicks.
Project
and why you're excited about it.
Project Kicks is a way for teams to actually support themselves by shoe donations. This has come about within the Florida Conference, just through one of the players at Miami saying, "I have an idea. Do you think this would work?
Right.
Would you come to?" They asked me would I come to a meeting with a company, and I did. They presented their idea of collecting shoes, and I thought, okay, yeah, sure, let's try it, and
Right.
we can try it within the Florida Conference. And at that time, I was commissioner of the Florida Conference, so I said, yeah,
Right.
I can speak to the teams and see if they want to do it. Like, there won't be too much arm twisting. But anyway, they decided to do it, and it's been successful. And now they're probably going to scale up and bring it to the other members of the NWBA. So I think there are going to be over 200 teams that are going to benefit from this.
Oh, wow. So there are a lot of teams that play in the NWBA.
Oh, sure, yes. We have the adult division, which I am chair of the
adult division. Right.
Adult division committee, is the second largest. And we have 88 teams. The junior division has 89 teams.
Wow.
All right, and then it falls off. So we have collegiate men and women's. There's a military division. There is a women's division as well, and then we have our the high performance teams
that compete.
Correct, and they're the ones that are
the number one
traveling
team.
internationally.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let me ask you this. So you're with Barry University. You're a professor there.
Yes.
Why doesn't Barry University have wheelchair basketball there? Or will it be something that's coming?
Well, Barry University has been working on that, and I think the issue is always comes down to how it will be funded. So
Right.
Most wheelchair basketball teams that are at the collegiate level start out as club teams. So you have to see what type of population you have. So I will look and see how many people we have that might be going to school that are in wheelchairs.
Right.
So,
right.
So and then if they are interested in
Right.
wheelchair
Because
basketball.
sports is a big deal, and
Sure.
coming into college, and that type of thing.
Exactly. So so what Barry is up against are the schools that already have existing programs. And for example, University of Alabama has quite a bit of money, and they just built a $10 million facility just for their wheelchair basketball
Wow.
participants. And so when somebody goes and sees that facility,
Yes, it's like,
yes,
we got to have this.
we're going there.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So it makes sense, but
Right.
it doesn't mean that programs don't start. The City University of New York just started a program last year, and they have men's and women's and a good coaching staff,
Right.
and they are competing and they are not getting the better players yet, but they are writing,
Recruiting
they're
players,
recruiting,
yeah.
they have some funding. So, and that's why I'm excited about Project Kicks, because this is going to help start these programs. Barry has always been very big on being part of an inclusive community. So this is something that they actually really would like to do. And they're hoping that it's coming sooner rather than later.
Right,
Yes.
right. No, that's wonderful. Tell us a little bit about you spreading the word on Inclusion Day. What is the Inclusion Day all about?
But the word Inclusion Day is about, again, that inclusive community where we have that partnered school will come out and enjoy the university as a place where they will do some recreation. So our partner school is Robert Rennick Education Center, and they come out on the March 1st, or the first Wednesday in March. And Barry provides basketball, tennis, football, soccer, art, whatever the students would like to do. And it's Barry students that are participating, that are the hosts of the day. So it's very much of an inclusive community in that.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Let me ask you this. You talked about, we were watching the video, and I see that these players. I mean, it's pretty. I mean, they're moving around, and the wheelchairs are flipping. I mean, I'm just asking as a layman. I mean, are they getting hurt? I mean, I'd imagine they're getting.
That's such a great question, because when you think about a person in a chair, and not everyone,
Yeah.
but think about a person that may be newly injured. Well, they just had probably the most catastrophic
Right,
injury
exactly.
that has changed their life, let's
Right.
say. So one of the things and one of the ideas is that we think that because a person is in a wheelchair, that they are tender, or they
Right.
so be careful of any contact, etc. And so you see wheelchair basketball or quad rugby, and you
It's
see
like the most dangerous sport you can possibly,
yes,
be in.
you're thinking like, oh my God, they're hitting, and then you see somebody that flips over. You saw a person
Yeah.
go down, but what you didn't see is how that person gets up, and it depends. There are some players that need help getting up. There are other players, like the one you saw go over,
Right.
that can get up in less than a second.
It's amazing. It's truly amazing.
Yeah. So you will see that's one of the teaching one of the teaching tools that we do with wheelchair basketball. How are you going to get up? Because if the play is going away from you, then you're not in danger. So the whistle will not blow and stop play. If the play is coming towards you, yes, the whistle will blow, stop play, we'll get the player up. But if it's going away from you, then we want that player back in the game as fast as possible.
Of course,
yes,
of course.
Yeah.
And it's amazing because you're giving them a chance in life to look forward to something, and I mean, it's wonderful. It's amazing. It truly is.
I will say that one of the things that the NWBA has been working on for a number of as since its existence, is finding where their professional level is going to happen. So
Right.
it's probably going to be with the Division One players, and some of those
Right.
players have played professionally in Europe, but they haven't played here because it hasn't doesn't. And by here I mean the United States,
Right, right,
because
right.
it's not, the structure's not there yet. So there are partnerships that the
How
NWBA.
long has it been around? Since
1948.
wow.
1948. So there are partnerships that the NWBA has been nurturing, working on to provide that professional space for the men and women that do want to go that route. I believe that there is such momentum with the sport now, and because of people are just becoming more aware about being diverse and
Exactly.
wanting to be in that type of community, that I would think that in the next few years you're going to see it in the United States.
That will be amazing. Yes. Tell us a little bit about. I want to make sure I'm covering all the things you are asking me. Um, how many people participate in wheelchair basketball?
So we have we probably have close to 2,200 players. Then you have families, you have coaches, volunteers. So it's a fairly wide community. So at the national tournament that I'm about to go to, there's probably going to be, and we only have not even half of the adult division teams.
Wow.
But there will probably be close to 1,000 people there.
Now, where is this national tournament? Tell us
It's
a
going to
little bit
be
about that.
it's going to be in Wichita, Kansas.
Okay.
And they have a facility that has 12 basketball courts.
Okay.
And it's Wichita Hoops
Okay.
is the facility. And we will use 8 courts for play, and then there, 8 courts. Yes, 8 courts for play, and then we'll have 2 courts for chair storage, and 2 courts for the vendors.
So you're coaching a team now?
No, I'm no longer coaching.
Oh, you're no longer
I'm no
coaching.
longer coaching. Yes, I have
retired.
I have settled into. When I think someone asked if do you miss coaching, and I
Yeah.
thought maybe a little bit. I think what I miss is maybe at the game.
Yeah.
I don't know if I miss preparing for the game, preparing for practices.
How long were you coaching for?
Oh, I coached for 8 years.
And
wheelchair.
what made you just, it was enough. It was
Yeah,
too much of a commitment.
I actually was in leadership for the NWBA on the Adult Division Committee. Now
Right,
I'm
you were
chair.
commissioner. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
so you're a chair now.
Right. And
Okay.
I was a commissioner of the Adult Division. So, and when you start getting to those positions, if you're going to not have your team in mind and
Yeah.
really treat everybody fairly,
Yeah, it's a little bit of a problem.
right. So you want to maybe, even though I don't know if I looked at it at first when I got there, but when I said, okay, it's time to change, then yes, that was one of the reasons why.
Got it. Got it. So now you're just going to Kansas as a spectator.
Well, no, I'm this is actually I'm going as one of one of the hosts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if something is not right with the tournament, they will look at the commissioner, and I'm usually probably a step behind the commissioner. So
Okay.
they will look at the commissioner and they'll say, "Why isn't this so and so?" And the
Okay.
commissioner says, "Can we do that?" I say, "Oh yeah, we can fix that." So yes, I'm actually one of the hosts, and
Oh, good.
yeah.
Okay. Well, and so tell us a little bit about, you came from New York. You're from New York, I'm assuming?
Yes,
Born
yes.
and raised.
Yeah, yes. From New York. I was part of basketball there.
Okay.
Um,
So
I
you
w-
you played basketball for
I
many
was yeah
years.
well played, but I was coaching and running basketball leagues in New York. So I started a league for the YMCA, and started a league or I was part of a league called the Pelham Fritz basketball league, which was a fairly high end league. And the difference between that league and the NWBA is I didn't have to do a lot of teaching because these were players that some of them had NBA careers, some of them were Division One players or Division Two, so it was a fairly high end league, and all I had to do was try and pick players as opposed to wheelchair basketball, which has its own. It has a learning curve, so there were things that I had to learn as a new coach, uh, but I learned those, and there were some things that I brought from just being a coach for a number of years, and just some ideas of where do you want to be as far as your basketball career. So.
That's interesting. Very, very interesting. So now you go to Barry University and you teach your students there on adaptive sports.
Correct. What the students learn, first
Yeah.
of all, is that adapted sports exist.
Exactly.
Yes. So, and part of that is giving them the history of what it took to actually have these sports. So they learn about the history of what it took to and some of the laws that had to be changed to be more inclusive, and who were the drivers of these laws. So that's part of it, and then they learn also what it takes to play the sport, and even though they may not get in the chairs, they get to experience part of that sport through the Spread the Word Inclusion Day, which
Right,
they
right.
work on, and the National Wheelchair Basketball Association.
That's wonderful. That's amazing. Well, we've got a minute left, and I just want to know, do you want to share anything with our audience? Anything you want to tell them? Maybe a website they can go on, or
Yes, they can go to the nwba.org
okay,
to take a look at the website and see how that tells you about the national teams, about how they might want to be involved. There are plenty of opportunities for juniors if maybe they want to volunteer. But it's certainly a way of learning about that sport. And very soon they will be connected with Project Kicks, which
right.
also they can work and contribute that way as well.
Well, thank you so much for being here. This was truly a pleasure and an honor, and to learn about what you do and the wonderful uh, organization that you're involved with Barry, and with the Wheelchair Basketball Association. It's truly, truly wonderful. So thank you, and thank you for being here today. Thank
Right.
you for watching, and have a wonderful day.